It's cold at home, but at least it's sunny. Yes. No. Oh, no. I came down in September and I was like, oh yeah, oh, what is this?
If everybody could sign in, that'd be great. Good morning. A good reminder to silence cell phones. I always forget to say that at the start of class. And even like to not have it on vibrate either, because inevitably during Shavasana, you hear that vibration. So it's good just to turn it off completely. All right. Happy Tuesday. My son's down in the Keys right now on a school field trip, so I have a feeling the weather's like this for now.
Is it like a retreat type thing? It's gonna be
yes, overnight. Yeah, 6th grade. They took the whole. He goes to one of the private schools, so they took the whole grade, minus I guess 8 kids. I think that whose parents I don't think have ever like 6th grade is that funny grade where there's definitely some kids that like haven't even had a sleepover yet. And I think like when we had the meeting, you could see with some of the questions that were being asked, the parents who were like, 3 days, my kid in a bunk somewhere that I don't know anything about. No. Where I'm like, go. And he's been to a couple of overnight camps, so he's good.
And he's not the first child.
He's not the first child. Right, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I hope he's having fun. I mean, he is all about marine life and yeah, and so it's at Sea Camp. It's called Sea Camp, and it's in Big Pine Key. So the one like 2 before Key West.
Right.
Yeah. So I offered to chaperone. Because I've been a diver my whole life. So yeah.
Are they doing diving and stuff?
They're not scuba diving, but there was definitely going to be some snorkeling. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know how they're, because I'm sure some kids have never done it before. So we'll see. Is that Olivia that's joined us online?
Yes, it is. Good morning.
Oh, do you have, hold on. I think I have my speaker down. Is that Olivia?
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
Real good, and you?
Good, thank you. Good.
Is your meditation class, what do you call it, recorded?
Yes. Now they switched the link.
Oh,
It's a new link last week. And it worked on my side, but I saw that no one joined. So I hope that it got passed along to whoever wanted to take the class last week. So I'm supposed to use that link again tomorrow.
okay. Yeah, because usually I have usually appointments or I'm doing something or I've already eaten or whatever, but I wanted to do it recording because I thought, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's recording. As soon as I put the Zoom on, it's recording. So hopefully it's in the library.
Okay, I'll look for it again. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. All right, so I think today we're going to focus on the warrior poses a little bit. Oh, thanks, Meg. I was just about to jump up and do that. You want to flip the light off too? If you actually keep that kickstand down so that it doesn't close all the way. Yeah. Yep. All right. So warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, they're associated with stories in the yoga practice. Ancient stories. I don't have my myths of the asana book, so I'd have to go off memory, and I don't know if I would do it justice. But they're representing, the strength that we all have inside of us. And yesterday we talked about the third a little bit, which is asteya. Asteya, non-stealing, is the actual translation, but it really has many interpretations. And when we get into the warrior poses, it's asking a lot of our standing front leg, but also the back leg. The back leg is in full extension, and the front leg in warrior 1 is in flexion. When we go into warrior 2, we're opening the hips to the side, and we're still asking our front leg to bend toward a 90-degree angle, and still asking that back leg to be in full extension. But it's a completely different shift because our hips are opening to the side versus warrior 1, where our hips are opening to the front. All of us, our pelvic area is different. While we are all made up of bones and everybody's shape is a little different. So when we get into those poses, if you feel like you're over efforting, the idea when we're in standing poses is to find that balance between steady and sweet, between effort and ease, and to really find a softness in these poses. So when we're sinking in, just tap into your breath and breathing through whatever efforting is going on. But if you find that you're holding your breath, then it's a clue to back out of the pose a little bit. So just a couple things to keep in mind. And then warrior 3 asks from us some balance because we're standing on one leg. So when we move into warrior 3, at the time that we do, I'll start us in just the beginning pose of barely lifting the leg off. Our hips are facing forward in warrior 3. So we want to almost like how that, you've seen it with a ball and there's a piece of wood balancing on it and how it teeters evenly. You want to find that teetering with your body in warrior 3. So it's, again, not about how deep you go into it. You teeter to the point where you find steadiness and then let it keep evolving with your breath. And yoga being a practice, it might take you 3 years, to get all the way into the deepest part of the pose. So just have patience with yourself as we explore these more advanced poses or intermediate poses. So let's just begin by tuning into our breath, closing the eyes or softening the gaze. take a moment just to breathe in a little gratitude and thanks for showing up today. I thank you for being here. As a teacher, always a student. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue to learn. Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Next, inhale through the nose. And this time, exhale through the nose, but elongate it. Make it a little bit longer than your inhale. Another breath like that, inhaling into the nose, exhaling out through the nose, making it a little bit longer than the inhale. And one more, just like that. And just return to your natural breath, not manipulating it anyway, just following your natural inhale and exhale through the nose. And taking a body scan, checking in with yourself to see where you're at this morning. There's a Sanskrit word, shala. It means home or your space. So just acknowledging that your mat is your home. So even though you know that there's other people in the room with you, starting to tune in to making your mat, your space for your practice. Making your practice your own. Bring your hands to your heart center, and just to highlight a few things about Asteya, this yama. It gives us a chance to think about our relationship with the material world, as well as our world of relationships. What does it mean to you to do the opposite of stealing? We might think about paying full price for our food and belongings, or about short-term desires versus how we want to be in the world. From the sutras, non-covetousness, or the ability to resist a desire for that which does not belong to us. An affirmation or maybe a intention for your practice today is, I live in gratitude for all I have. I live in gratitude for all I have. We'll Om to open the practice. So take a full inhale and exhale it out fully. Om. And then rock off the prop that you're on and bring your feet to the mat in front of you and separate your feet a little wider than your hips, and just starting with a gentle windshield wiping from side to side. So bring your hands behind you so you feel balanced on your sits bones, chest lifting up to the sky. And just gently drop the knees over to the right. And inhale through center and exhale over to the left. So noticing which side maybe feels tighter than the other side. And maybe starting to get a little bit more where you're lifting the hip as you drop the knees a little deeper in the rocking from side to side. So make sure the feet are separate. Tracy, try and separate your feet. Yeah, so that knee can drop in toward the heel and that hip is lifting. And then we're gonna add the arms. So whatever side you're on, float the opposite arm around, so you're coming down to the floor. Inhale, lifting it back up and taking it to the other side. Inhale through center and over to the other side. At your own pace, and maybe start to bend at the elbows to lower the chest toward the earth. Feeling this gentle twist for the spine. Maybe opening the hips a little bit. Last one, finish up whatever side you're on. And then come back to center. Just find neutral. Bring the feet a little closer together and then drop your left knee down so that your left foot is coming behind the right heel. And take the right hand behind your back. Inhale, left arm up. So a little modified twist here. So options, either hooking this left elbow with the right knee, or might be more accessible to wrap your left arm around the knee. So whichever is more comfortable for you. So ideally finding a tall spine. So if wrapping the arm helps you to find that tall spine versus hooking the elbow, and then have your chin in line with your sternum. And with each breath, maybe start to turn the head a little bit to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in. Grow a little taller in your spine on the inhale. Maybe deepening the twist on the exhale. And then coming back to center, extend your right leg out. Bring your left heel in a little bit closer. Grab one of your blocks and place it on the inside of your right leg, right by the knee. Flex your right foot, having your right foot, so take the right leg out to the side more. Yeah, open it up. And then this block is coming to the inside. I'll mirror you guys. So then we're going to drop your right forearm to that block, turn the palm up. If you need to bring it up higher, you can. So getting a stretch for the hip here. And then inhale the left arm, reach it up. If you're collapsing forward, then lower that arm a little bit. Lower it to the point where you can really try and open up the chest. Maybe even bring this left arm behind you to open the chest. Leaning into that arm to get a little bit of a side bend for the left side. And at any point you can deepen by lifting that left arm and side bending into it. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath in and out, and then come back to neutral. Bring that right foot. Bring the sole of the foot in to meet the left. Sit up nice and tall, wrapping the hands around the feet. Opening up the hips. No need to fold forward here. Just find a tall spine. Feel the gentle opening of the hips. Full breath in. Full breath out. Chin parallel with the earth. Feel engagement in the belly as you draw the inhale. And emptying the breath. Exhale. And then bring the feet to the mat again. This time we'll drop the right knee out to the side and bring that right foot behind the left heel. Left hand coming behind, turning the hands out. So using it as a kickstand to find that tall spine, reach that right arm up. And then again, twisting now to the left, either wrap the arm around the left knee, or if it reaches, to hook with that left knee. But again, the goal being to find a tall spine. Breathe in. One more breath in, maybe turning the head to look over that left shoulder a little deeper. And then coming back to center, take your left leg out to the side. So opening it up wide, your right heel coming in towards your pubic bone, and then the block goes on the inside of that left leg. Flex your left foot, so left toes and knee pointing up, and then take the back of your left arm to rest it on that block. And let's start with right hand on right hip. Open the chest up. Start to lean in if you want to take it deeper. Put the block at the lowest, and then maybe reach that right arm. But you might stay with the hand on the hip and just practicing opening up that chest. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in and out. Coming back to center, bring that left foot in to meet the right. This time we will add a fold if it's comfortable for you, or you can stay lifted. You're still getting a deep stretch for the hips. If you're folding forward, do so with a tall spine. So we're hinging forward. With each inhale, really feel the breath wrapping around the low back. Lifting you up, and then the exhale takes you into the hinge a little deeper. Soften the shoulders. And inhale to lift up and let the legs extend out in front of you, and just shake them out a little bit. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then we'll cross the ankles and roll forward to our tabletop pose, hands and knees. Knees under hips. Spread your fingers. Press into your thumbs, your index finger, and the tips of your third, fourth, fifth fingers to create a little bit of space in your palm. And instead of having the wrists directly under your shoulders, bring them forward just a little bit. Bring your hands forward so your wrist creases are in front of your shoulders. Draw the belly in. On an inhale, lift the crown of the head, tilt the tailbone up for cow pose. And on your exhale, coming into cat. inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. Inhaling into cow. And exhale, really pull the navel toward the spine, rounding the spine, push the earth away from you. And then coming back to neutral, extend your right leg behind you. And drop that right heel down to the earth. Stretching the back of this right leg. Inhale, lift it up, hip height. Inhale, left arm up, finding spinal balance. And waking up our core a little bit. So inhale to lengthen, push through the heel, reach the fingers. And exhale, draw elbow to knee, rounding the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time to lengthen. And then drop your left hand down and swing your right foot out to the side. So it's going to look like this. You want the right edge of your foot parallel with the wall. Plant your left hand, inhale the right arm, lifting it up, finding a twist here. Try and pull your left hip forward toward the mirrors. Maybe the gaze looks up at your right thumb. Getting some left here, opening across the heart space. One more breath in and then exhale, lower down. Come up onto the knee, finding gate pose. Inhale, left arm up by the ear. Walk your fingertips down the right leg. Try not to collapse into this, but reach through the left fingertips to open up and breathe into this left side body. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure you're not putting any weight, pressing into the knee, but hand is just below it. One more breath in. Exhale the left hand down to the floor. Take that right arm, reach it straight up, maybe add lifting the right leg off the floor. Flex that foot if it's lifted and push through the heel to lengthen. If you find that that right hip is collapsing down, open it up, reach it up toward the sky. One more breath in. And exhale, lowering down. Come back to tabletop. Let's take a child's pose in between. So separate your knees wide. Bring your toes to touch and bring your seat towards your heels. Lowering the chest and forehead toward the mat. Just finding your breath here. Gentle opening for the hips and also a release for the low back. So sending the breath to the low back. Next inhale lifts us back up to tabletop. Bring the knees under the hips again. Extend the left leg behind you so your toes are on the mat. And then push back so your heel drops down and your stretch is happening for the back of that left leg. Full breath in and out, and then inhale, lifting that left leg up. Level the hips, toes are turning to the mat. Inhale the right arm up, finding spinal balance. Inhale to lengthen, then exhale, draw elbow to knee. Inhale to lengthen.
Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Really feel that engagement in the core as we draw elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, drop right hand down. Swing that left leg out to the side. So again, looks like this. Starting with that twist. Keep the right hand planted as we float that left arm up. Draw the hips toward that, especially that right hip toward the mirrors. Full breath in and out. One more inhale. And then exhale that left hand down as we come up on our right knee. Stay rooted in that left foot as we bring that right arm up, finding length. Walk your left fingertips down and reach through the right arm, the right fingertips. No pressure against that left knee. Draw the hips toward the mirrors. Opening up this right side. Breathing into the muscles in between the rib cage, and then next exhale, dropping that right hand down. Lift the left arm straight up, and then option to add that left leg. Push through that left heel to lengthen through the leg. One more breath in, and then exhale, dropping that left leg down. Coming back to tabletop. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. So continue moving through cow and cat, or if you feel like you need to circle it out, you can circle the hips around to one side and then the other side. So whichever feels good to you, either cow and cat or circles. And then all finding neutral. Come into cat pose, rounding the spine. Tuck your toes under and then straighten the legs, rowing into downward dog. And keep your heels lifted. Come up on your toes to really feel that extension in the arms and spine, the hips lifting up to the sky. And then just like gravity, help the heels to drop. They don't have to touch the mat. Just let them drop to where you can still maintain that extension in the arms and spine. Beautiful, everyone. One more breath in and out, and then look between your hands. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Float the arms out to the sides, bend your knees and lift the upper body to stand. Straighten the legs, flip the arms overhead, bringing the hands to heart center, Tadasana, moving into sun salutation. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, lift up halfway to a flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to find plank pose. Rock the body forward, then drop the knees. Hug the elbows in as you lower thighs, hips, and belly all at once. Separate the legs to a comfortable distance for your sacrum and preparing for cobra. So hug the elbows into the side body. On your inhale, the heart, the chest heels away from the mat. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under. Round the spine into cat and then continue to straighten the legs, finding downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Breathe in, breathe out 1, breathe in, breathe out 2. Check in with the pressure in your wrists and remember that trick to plug into your thumbs, your index finger, and the tips of your 3rd, 4th, 5th fingers. If you feel like your shoulders are climbing up toward your ears, hide your armpits from your neighbor to open across the upper back. 1 more breath in and out. Look between your hands and either bending the knees and a light hop forward or walk the feet up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana, taking a reset breath here. So we're going to move into Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B, and that incorporates Warrior 1. We won't do in a flow class, it's 1 movement, 1 breath, but we'll add an extra breath cycle for each movement. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead and bring the hands to heart center. Tadasana, now bend your knees, starting off with chair pose. Inhale, the arms up by the ears. Draw the belly in. Full breath in. On your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank. Drop your knees down. Lower to the belly. Inhale, lifting up into cobra. And exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes under. Rounding the back and then hips lift you into downward dog. Full breath in and out. Starting with the right leg. Inhale, lifting it up just a little bit so your hips are level. Use your core to draw the right knee into the chest. And then step it down right behind your hands. Rotate that left heel down. Inhale the arms up behind you, bringing the belly off your thigh. And check in right here. Right knee bending toward a 90-degree angle, tracking with your second toe. Left leg fully extended. Continue to lift the upper body. Bring your hands to your hips. Notice the hips facing forward. If you're feeling steady right here, Warrior 1 arms. And 3 breaths. Notice how the hips are shining forward. Try not to lean the body forward. Shoulders stay stacked with hips. Beautiful. So if you feel like your shoulders are creeping up to the ears, try a wide V. Notice how they relax. Then bring the arms closer. Next, exhale. Take the hands down to the mat. Step the right leg back, find plank pose. Rock the body forward, lower knees. Hug the elbows in and lower the whole upper body. Inhale into cobra. Don't hesitate to spread the legs a little bit further to accommodate your sacrum. Finding downward dog. So my vote is to round the spine. and then grow into downward dog. But you can, if you prefer to push back to your heels and then straighten the legs, then yogi's choice. Exhaling the breath all the way out. Next inhale, we'll lift our left leg up. Hug that left knee into your chest. Use your core. And then step it down, that left foot down, right behind your hands. And then rotate that right heel down. Loop the arms behind you. So you're rooting down through that left foot, right leg fully extended. Lift the upper body, stacking shoulders over hips, hands to hips. Maybe you need a little help to bring that right hip forward. Notice your feet are on two different planks of wood. So we don't want our foot behind the other in warrior one. You want to create enough space to have the hips open front. Add the arms. That left knee now bending toward a 90-degree angle. Everyone. The right leg in full extension. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. More breath in. And out. And then we'll float the hands back down to the mat. Step the left leg back. We'll find plank. One more vinyasa. Rock the body forward. Drop the knees down. And we lower. Inhale into our back bend cobra. Coming into downward dog, however you are comfortable, rounding the spine or pushing seat to heels and then straightening the legs. Full breath in. Exhale it all the way out. Look between your hands. Either walk your feet up to the top or a light hop forward and then inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, then bend your knees. We're coming in a chair pose. Inhale, lifting the arms up by the ears. Feel the weight in your heels, like you could wiggle your toes around. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Gaze looks up, hands to heart center, and finding Tadasana, reset pose. Just close your eyes for a moment and just move back through that sun salutation. And just notice for yourself where the breath might have gotten short or constricted. Not stealing the practice from yourself, not stealing the breath. And one more breath in and out. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, come into a half lift. Exhale, bend your knees and step the right leg back, finding a low lunge. And then I want you to drop your right heel down, rotate it down. Left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. We're gonna circle up into warrior two. So I want you to reach the right arm forward. Start reaching it, circle it around, bringing you up into warrior two. Left knee. So now our hips, when we circled open, our hips opened to this exit wall. And now the feet, normally the front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Now we're standing on the same plank of wood. And even though our hips are facing sideways, opening sideways, turn your gaze to look over the left fingertips. Beautiful, everyone. And rotating the palms down. Now I want you to try and soften every part of your body into this pose. One more breath in. And out. Notice shoulders stacked with hips. We don't want to lean the body forward. We want to bring the upper body so your spine is perpendicular with the floor. And inhale to straighten that left leg. Exhale, rebend, drop that left forearm, left elbow to the thigh, and then take that right arm closer to the ear for extended side angle. Press into the outer edge of the right foot. And then inhale, lifting back up to warrior two, straighten that left leg. And then we're gonna rebend and spiral back down, pivot that back foot, step back to plank. Pitch your body forward to drop your knees down, hug the elbows in, lower the whole upper body. Legs, find that comfortable sweet spot for your sacrum. As you inhale, we'll peel our chest up. And exhale, lower down, tucking toes under, maybe rounding the spine to grow into downward dog, or push your seat back to your heels. Look between your hands. Walk your feet up or a light hop forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Other side, exhale, bend your knees. Take your left leg back this time. So find the lunge because warrior two has a wider stance. And then rotate that left heel down. So both feet planting. Start to lift that left arm up. Circle it, circle it. Reach, reach, reach. Let it bring you up. Open the hips to the TV wall. Come all the way up to warrior two. Beautiful, everyone. So Leo, bring that left foot more in line with your right. Your yoga mats, but they're really not. Turn this left toes in. Yep, beautiful. Right there. And then upper body here. Shoulders. Right knee is tracking with your second toe. So if the right knee is bowing in, you want to mindfully have it track with that second toe. If you can't see your big toe, that's an indication that you can widen your stance a little bit. And then inhale, straighten that right knee. We're going to rebend, coming into extended side angle. Drop that right elbow and forearm down. Left arm coming more in line with the ear. So creating a long line of energy from the outside of your left foot, up the left side and out through those left fingertips. Nice. Not putting too much weight in that right elbow or arm. And then inhale, come back to warrior two, straighten that right leg, rebend. And then spiral the hands back down, pivot that back foot, step the right leg back, finding plank. So your choice, if you want to lower and do a vinyasa again, or you can lift the hips right into downward dog, or you can take a child's pose. Honor Full breath in. Full breath out. If you're in child's pose, if you want to join us in downward dog, look between your hands, either a light hop forward or walk your feet up. And inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms around, bringing yourself to stand. Hands to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring your blocks in front of you. So they're just in front of the mat at the highest. So check in. So you want to have them under your shoulders. So comfortable distance. And then come to stand. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead. And exhale, dive forward. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and step the right leg back. So we're going to find high lunge. Left knee bending. And now rotate your right foot down for warrior one. Hands come to hips. Lift the upper body. So pause here in warrior one. Notice the hip shining forward. We're going to reach for the blocks. We're going to lift that right leg a little bit off the mat and straighten that left leg. And then I want you to drop back down to warrior one. So we're going to do this a few times to warm up. Reach for the blocks. Straighten the left leg and just let that right leg lift just a little bit. Drop it back down. So not going into full warrior three yet. I see some of you eager beavers. So I just want to practice straightening this left leg and just lifting that leg slightly off and then back down, warrior one. Okay, watch for a moment. While you're in warrior one, watch me for a moment. So now, taking this a little bit further, if you're ready, most important, you want to drop the right hip. Notice my hips are level as I lift that right leg. I'm not opening that right hip and lifting that leg up. I'm keeping the hips level. See how my leg's lifting even with my hip level? And then you can play here. You can play with balance. You can lift one arm. You can lift the other arm. Maybe hands to heart center. So when you're ready, tip forward. Remember that piece of wood on the ball. You want to act like a lever. Go to where you're comfortable today. Turning the right toes toward the mat helps to level those hips out. So that's level. The difference? You have to work a lot harder. Leveling those hips definitely makes it harder to lift that leg, but that's the correct alignment. And instead of pointing that right toe, flex it. Just like we did in spinal balance. Right toes turning toward the mat. When you're ready to come out, gently drop that right foot back. Warrior one. Moving into another balance, bring hands to hips and bring this right knee lifted to 90 degrees. Roll that foot around. And reverse it. Maybe add the arms. Maybe extend that right leg. And then drop it down. Shake it out, shake it out, shake off that side. Nice work, everyone. So warrior three, So many times we see people lifting the hip. Warrior three, you want your hips facing the earth the whole time. And just think of yourself as a teeter. That as your leg is lifting, so really, this could be warrior three right here. See how I'm in the straight line? My leg lifts as my arms drop. And I'm teetering at the same angle. All right, Tadasana. Inhale the arms around and exhale, dive forward. Bend the knees, take your left leg back, find high lunge, bend the right knee. Then drop the left heel down. Hands to hips, lift the upper body. We're finding warrior one. Arms come up. Reach forward. So we're going to start with that warm up. Hands to blocks and then just straighten the right leg. Lift the left foot off the mat a couple of inches. And then drop back down. Inhale to warrior one. And exhale, hands to blocks. Straightening the right leg. So this is a great awareness of how we're rooting down through the right leg for warrior three. Inhale back to warrior one. And exhale, warrior three warm up. Straightening that right leg. One more time, drop back to warrior one. And now play to deepen. So hands can start at the blocks. So finding that steadiness in the right leg. Draw that left hip down. Left foot flexed. And play with balance, taking one hand off the block. And then try the other. Or keep your hands on the blocks. If you, like Gail's doing, if you prefer to balance on the wood, you can move off your mat. You can come out of the pose, go back. And arms can come out to the sides, or flying back, or in front of you. And then when you're ready to be done with that side, drop back down to warrior one. One more vinyasa, hands down to the mat, onto plank. Rock the body forward, drop knees down, hug your elbows in, lower all the way down to your belly. One more cobra, inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, lower down. This time just push back to child's pose. So separating the knees, toes together, pushing seat to heels. And surrendering into this child's pose. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, slowly rolling up. So you're coming onto your heels. Rock off onto your left hip and swing the legs around in front of you. Come up on your sits bones. So maybe move the flesh away from the sits bones to sit up nice and tall. Coming into our Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. So draw the right knee into your chest. And then step it over that left leg. Right hand coming behind. Inhale the left arm up. Twist to the right. Hooking that left elbow with the right knee. Again, if it's more accessible to wrap the left arm around the knee, maintaining a tall spine. Noticing any shifts with this twist versus the very first one that we did, now that the body's warmer. And inhale, come through center, counter twist to the left. And then release that right leg. Other side, draw left knee into the chest, step it over the right. Left hand coming behind, right arm floating up. Exhale, twisting to the left. And starting with the chin in line with your sternum. See if you can make it parallel with the earth. And then a slow twisting up of the head if it's comfortable to look over that left shoulder. Softening the face, the jaw. And coming back to center through center, counter to the right. And release. And then grab one of your blocks. We're going to do supported shoulder stand. So coming onto your back, bring your heels in toward your sits bone so you can reach your heels with your longest finger. Have your feet, knees in line with your hips. Press into your feet and slide the block under that bony part of your low back. And then lift your knees so the knees are forming a 90-degree angle. And just check in, make sure the block is supporting underneath your sacrum. Extend the legs up to the ceiling. And the arms coming away from the body about 20 to 30 degrees. Either palms down if you like that feeling of support, or you could flip the palms up to allow the shoulders to release a little bit more. And then stay here. Slowly rebend the knees, letting the feet drop to the mat. Lift up off of your block and then come up. And then we're going to come in a supported fish pose. So grab both blocks now. Bring one to the lowest, both of them to the lowest. So this middle one is going to rest right in between your shoulder blades. And the one at the top is going for your head. So then slowly coming down. That middle block for the women, if you want to think of it going right across the bra strap. And the other block supporting the head. And then extending And then extending the legs if that's comfortable for you. The idea is to help it open the chest. So it is puffing the chest up a little bit. Countering that inversion that we just did. Allowing the rib cage to expand, the lungs expand. When you're ready to come off the blocks, gently rocking to one side, moving the blocks out of the way. If it feels good and you want to linger a little bit longer, you can. And then once you've removed the blocks, coming into Shavasana. And for Shavasana, you can choose corpse pose. You can bring the blocks under your knees for extra support. Sometimes the blocks under the knees helps the low back to soften. Or constructive rest, and that's where you bring your feet to the mat. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. And then let the knees and thighs draw together. The two options for rest. I live in gratitude for all I have. I take and use only what is rightfully mine.
I respect the possessions and talents of others and release my desires to own objects or talents I do not have. I appreciate my life as it is. Some affirmations relating to aesthetic, non-stealing. These last few breaths of your rest pose, maybe repeating, I live in gratitude for all I have. To yourself. And release attachment to what should be or could be. We're able to live in the present moment. Release judgment. And be able to appreciate yourself as you are. Begin to deepen your breath and invite small movements back in, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, circling wrists and ankles. Maybe inhale the arms overhead, taking a long stretch. And then drawing knees into your chest and rolling onto your right side. Extend your right arm out to support your head, to use as a pillow. Just taking a few deeper breaths here in this nourishing fetal position. Energy from your heart to move down into the body. Taking this pause in between helps to avoid any lightheadedness as we come back up to a seat. Making your way up to Sukhasana, easy seat, crossing the legs, or if you need to stretch them out in front of you. Finding a tall spine, keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. Chin parallel with the earth. Let's inhale the arms, sweep them overhead, palms touch, and drawing the hands down then to our heart center. A soft bow of the head to offer yourself thanks and a little bit of gratitude for just even showing up, just making it out of the house into this beautiful community, the space the community offers. Being around others who are like-minded in exploring this practice, knowing that it's more than just physical. Looking to yoke, to bring a union of our mind, body, and spirit. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you, wishing you all a beautiful day. Let's seal the practice with one Om. Take a full inhale and empty the breath all the way out. And we'll Om on the next exhale. Om. Namaste. Thank you. More fun tomorrow at 1:30. Yoga and meditation. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all so much. And again, just a reminder, next week, this class and Wednesday's class will be canceled for Thanksgiving. I'll be out of town.
Thank you.
Thanks, Olivia. Have a great day.